LPT Realty just had their first ever annual brokerage conference, but was it a bust? Find out on this episode of the Just Us League of Real Estate. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Just Us League of Realtors. And we are a bunch of local realtors just talking about real estate stuff. So we are the go-to people if you have any questions on buying or selling your homes here in our local areas. And right now you are hearing the voice of William Daly here in the Daytona Beach Fun Coast. And next to me I have my man,
Matt Miller here. I'm from New Smyrna Beach and also part of the Fun Coast of Florida. And then we also have joining us today,
Tony Gamble from the Gulf Coast.
Heck yeah. And we all were just over actually in that Gulf Coast, visiting with Tony, me and Matt, over there for not only the St. Petersburg Grand Prix, but we also were there for LPT Realty's first ever annual real estate conference. And I could tell you it was exhausting. So this conference consisted of lecture, teams that were able to kind of promote themselves, as well as the Grand Prix race, of course, and then visiting St. Petersburg. So we all spent a few nights there and had a great time. So what did you guys think about, let's start with the speakers. Matt, what did you think about the speakers that we had?
I thought the speakers were amazing. From the very first person, Chris Doering, ex-Florida Gator football player, NFL player, has a mortgage company now. He started the conference out, and I swear it's like he was a motivational speaker. I mean, he did an amazing job of just kicking it off, and it just got better from there. I mean, great heads of industry there. We had people from Tiffany's, iHeartMedia, Outfront billboards. So there was a lot of information given on branding and how people have grown their business, and it was just informative all around, all 2 days.
Yeah, for sure. Tony, what did you think?
Yes, I agree with Matt. I thought it was a fantastic time. I too really loved Chris Doering. I thought he really brought the fire and got us all motivated and excited to be there. And I also enjoyed some of the breakout sessions with some of the real estate's heavy hitters that we have in LPT Realty also. Betsy Tinervin, Andrew Vose, David Allen Kurz, Vincent Alcuri. They were all great and brought a lot of value.
It really did. I would have to second that because that's one of the things that I definitely saw on display there was camaraderie. And, you know, coming from the fire department culture, that's something that bleeds thick in the fire departments, right? Is like that camaraderie. That's why a lot of people seek that family environment. And I really felt that in a lot of the circles that I had conversations with there. Everybody is very welcoming and disclosing kind of what they're doing with their own business and kind of in conversation figuring out if there's anything they can do to help you. I mean, did you guys kind of get that same vibe in the conversations you were having?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the word of the day was collaboration. So, and that's really what it is. We've grown to over 3,000 agents. They gave the head count, like 3,165, I believe was the number. Fastest growing brokerage ever, but yet you don't feel like it's a cutthroat business. You've got everybody looking out for each other, offering, you know, how they've succeeded, what they've done. And I mean, I picked up a lot of stuff from this conference.
I agree 100% on that too. I've had some conversations since the conference was over with a couple of people that kind of, you know, took an interest in me and my business and helping me get to the next level, kind of where I'm wanting to be. And I'm having daily conversations with these people and they don't have anything to gain from this. I do though. And so I'm soaking it all up and I'm very appreciative of the collaboration mindset that our agents have, regardless of how long they've been in real estate, regardless of their stature in the company. They all seem willing to help. And I love that about LPT.
Yeah, that is for sure, man. And same, right? Like I've had conversations there that have carried on into this week that are continuing and I can just imagine are going to be opening up the doors for future conversations to have with those teams and groups. So yeah, I would definitely agree. I thought it was awesome. I really like a lot of people that we've engaged with. You know, a lot of the teams that are out there are coming with their own perspective, and perspective is reality. So when they give you their own reality of what their business is like, it really does make you sit back and start to think to yourself, well, maybe I should evaluate myself. I like this or I didn't like this about the way that this person does their own business, because we all do business differently, right? So, and that's the great thing about being a realtor, I think. One of the great things is you can kind of like walk in these shoes, but have a pair on that fits your personality, because not everybody wears the same style of shoes.
Sort of how the brokerage is. I mean, Robert Palmer, our CEO, he's learning from his past mistakes, and that benefits the growth that we're experiencing with our marketing and tools that are coming in and things that he's stepping out of what he normally would do. And it's the same with all the realtors and teams coming in. And we have people there from Texas, Virginia, Colorado,
North Carolina.
So, I mean,
Jinx, poke, you owe me a Coke.
But it was a great time. And then beyond the conference, we got to talk about St. Pete. Like, St. Pete was an amazing city.
It was, man. First time ever. Florida boy, first time ever
wow.
to St. Petersburg.
No, I've been to St. Pete a couple different times, but this is the first time I really experienced the downtown area. And just everywhere you go, there was something to do, live music, great food, restaurants, bars. Like, it was just a good time.
Yes, absolutely. And Matt, I hear you are the karaoke king. That's what I understand from the St. Pete nightlife. Yeah, we missed it.
Somebody may have video of it. I don't know. I got Calvin Bolden on video, so I've got that to hold over him for a little bit. But yeah, it was a good time. We ended up, there was a restaurant there. It was an Asian sushi type place. And walked inside, there was a DJ playing, and I heard there was karaoke there, and everyone from LPT was congregating. And I didn't see any karaoke. Well, there's a hidden room within this restaurant. So the wall, you just push on the wall and it opens, and there's this probably 12 by 20 room just packed with people doing karaoke.
Awesome.
So, yeah, it was a good time.
Did you crowd surf?
No, you could have, but I did not. So.
Yeah, I mean, and speaking of Robert Palmer, the CEO, and the dynamics of what they keep releasing, and I mean, it seems like it's never ending. Every time I think we're there, I hear him announce or release, something else they're rolling out. And with this conference, one of the things that they released or rolled out is what was called a nexus structure. And that seemed to be large organizations that would basically be umbrellas for teams that are either starting up or coming into the brokerage. Very interesting structure. Sounds like a franchise almost, if you will, but within a brokerage, so that they handle the money of how it's dispersed and managed. But what did you guys think about some of the Nexus stuff? What was your thoughts on that?
I thought it was very interesting. I think that Robert Palmer, the way his mind works is amazing. And I think that he will be effectively shaping in future how brokerages work with agents and how they relate. And I think that a nexus structure is kind of how that's going to happen. What I thought was interesting was 3 different types of nexus structures. So you have the coaching structures for those who want some type of coaching. So they want to be under this big coaching umbrella with someone who gives value to them in that way, and they can pay them through that structure. But they don't have to literally join their team or anything like that to do that. I thought that was great. There's a brick and mortar structure as well. And then sort of an instructional structure, where you can go and learn from one of these big nexus groups and function within it however your business will. So lots of flexibility there, I think, too.
Yeah, and part of that was they announced that large team that joined G World. So that was a huge announcement. They have over 100 agents, I believe.
Right.
And that's going to be a brick and mortar facility building where people can go and access their trainings and I guess materials that they have.
Interesting. So almost like a academy, if you will, brick and mortar academy.
For a cloud brokerage.
For a cloud brokerage, right. Yeah. Yep. Very interesting. And I mean, I think those are the kind of things that are needed. I mean, I came from a cloud brokerage before coming over to LPT. And although a cloud brokerage does offer lots of independence, right, especially for forward thinkers or people that are at a high production, but what it did not offer was that foundation structure that I think is really needed to hold somebody's hand when they go into anything that's new, especially self-employment, because that's basically what we are as realtors. I mean, we are our own business. So I would definitely agree with that as well, man, for sure. What about the biggest takeaway? What do you guys think the biggest takeaway was from, this whole conference?
I would really have to say the biggest takeaway that I got was the collaboration and networking piece. I mean, there were tools that were announced which were amazing. So, I mean, that's a huge takeaway. But what I got out of it individually, without having access to some of these tools yet, some of the things they were talking about are going to be a couple months down the road yet, was really the connections that I made with other LPT agents. And I think that's only going to help with referral business. It's going to help with collaboration and bouncing ideas off of one another. So that was my biggest takeaway from the entire conference.
Yes, I agree with you, Matt. The collaboration was insane. I mean, just the conference, yes, but then after the conference, the side conversations, those things that were happening over dinner or over drinks, building and forging those relationships, I found to be so important. And like I said, there are a couple of those, especially for me, that have carried on almost into a daily conversation with these people adding value to my business.
Yeah, I would have to say for me, the biggest takeaway is just walking away knowing that I have not even hit my ceiling and that the ceiling is glass in this industry.
And you're tall.
And I'm tall. I mean, anybody that knows that knows that. So I would say that for me, that was one of the things that immediately had my brain moving in a direction that I wasn't anticipating it to move in. And after having those conversations that I was already having prior to the conference, and then meeting with these people in real time, and then just really unfolding some ideas, it really had me understanding that, wow, I haven't even thought of what my ceiling is yet. And to be part of a brokerage that provides you a landscape to be able to create your own ceiling is really something that is to be spoken for, because I have not seen any other company that approaches the industry in the fashion that LPT Realty is doing that. Now, I know, we all know, nothing's ever perfect. So anybody listening to this right now, definitely keep in mind, everything always has issues and development stages, and we are definitely in those stages. But with all that aside, it is phenomenal, and the pros and cons are outweighed tremendously, in my opinion.
100%. Definitely.
Yes. Agreed.
So outside of the conference, we had the conference there because Robert Palmer, RP Funding, and LPT Realty were one of the primary sponsors of the race. So we were able to have our conference at the Mahaffey Theater, which was inside of the race grounds. And
it was awesome.
It gave us a lot of access, and after the conference ended, we obviously had access to the Grand Prix itself. So what did you guys think of the race? Were you able to enjoy some of the festivities and what was going on?
Absolutely. I will say this, my feet have never hurt so much. I'm going to rethink my shoes.
There you go. I noticed that. I noticed a few that needed to do that.
Yes. I can't obviously be cute at the Grand Prix. So I have to be functionally comfortable.
There you go.
But
it was warm.
Yes, it was warm. But you know what? I love the access that we had to the Mahaffey, to our little VIP section where we could go and see an unobstructed view of the race. It was amazing, the things that LPT provided for us. Our VIP passes that sort of got us in and got us, past some of the obstacles and things. So I just really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was loud. But I really liked it.
Yeah,
well, Will put together a good video on it. So
I did.
If you want to give your YouTube
channel. Get on that Locals Lifestyles. Check out that 2023 LPT conference. And was it a bust? And obviously, if you're listening to this podcast, spoiler alert, it wasn't a bust. It was fantastic. So obviously, that gets a little bit more clicks, if you will. So that gets everybody watching those great videos we put on that YouTube channel. And with that being said, you can look for more videos that will be on that Locals Lifestyles YouTube coming from Also, my partners here, Matt Miller and Tony Gamble, as well as some of the other realtors that are not part of this podcast. So look forward to that. So I will say, as far as the race goes, I love speed. I love loud noises. I love the smell of the exhaust as the vehicles are burning their fuels. So I love to feel the rumble, and it really put us basically right in center of that race. I mean, it was crazy. So I've never seen, again, open wheel cars. They don't usually come out here to Daytona, and if they do, I miss them. So it was cool to see some of the fastest cars that we'll see racing. And yeah, man, the accessibility that LPT provided was, more than I could ask for. I mean, golf carts taking us from the parking garage to lighten that walk. If you could catch them, sometimes they weren't there. They weren't on the perfect loop, but we did catch them a couple times, and that definitely helped out a lot. So, and I'll tell you another thing is, having LPT Realty and RP Funding, associated company, homevalue.com, basically posted all over the place, really made you feel like it was your race, like you were a part of this race rather than just a spectator. So I did kind of get that feeling as well.
Right. The access that we had was amazing, and it was to the point, I'm standing by the track, and I'm a hat guy, so if people don't know what I look like, I wear hats 90% of the time. I had my hat off because I was trying to catch the breeze and cool down a little, and when I went to rub my hands through my hair, I actually had grit from the tires and the track in my hair. That's how close up we were in the experience that we got. So it was really cool to see those cars flying around. I was amazed at the track and the speed. It was a 1.8 mile track with 14 turns through downtown St. Pete, and I think the best time I saw on Friday, which was the only day I was there for the race, was 61 seconds. So in 61 Incredible. Seconds they did it. Pretty cool.
1.8 miles in 61 seconds.
That's 61 seconds with turns.
That's insane.
That's insane. So anyhow, it was a great time, and looking forward to next year's conference and what that holds.
Tony, you want to take us out?
Absolutely. Well, thank you for listening to our podcast today. We are the Just Us League of Realtors. I'm Tony Gamble over here on the Gulf Coast of Florida. And if you want more information, you can get into the link in our bio, and we will see you next time.